Let's compare the identity theft protection that you get from Aura versus IDShield here. Both of these identity theft protection services are worthwhile, no doubt, but I'll get into the details of how they compare in terms of monitoring your personal information online, credit monitoring, transaction monitoring if they offer it. I'll also talk a bit about what they offer for threat resolution and ultimately how they stack up in terms of cost, what you're getting versus what you're paying for these two companies. Personally, I think Aura is the better choice of the two. I think it's a more comprehensive service, more thorough in terms of its monitoring, and all of that is offered at a better price. I don't think IDShield is a bad service. I just think it could be a little bit better. And definitely when you look at the price difference between the two of them, Aura is probably the better deal. If you do choose either of these, use my links in the description of this video to apply a discount automatically and save a bit on your plan. I know Aura in particular, you can save up to 50% on your plan, which really makes it quite attractive. The pricing is already great right off the bat, but if you apply that discount using my link in the description, you're even better off. So for the purposes of this video, I'm going to compare the baseline individual plan from Aura versus the baseline individual plan from IDShield. That way we can just be comparing things on a similar price tier and kind of see what you're getting for, what you're paying. And before I actually get into the monitoring, one thing that's a bit strange about how IDShield works is all of these different modules, the credit and dark web monitoring, reputation management, anti-malware protection, VPN and proxy, and password management. These all kind of send you in different places, which is a little bit weird. So as you can see, I have to open a new window here and log in again. A little bit annoying right off the bat, I have to say. I think the most important thing to assess with any identity theft protection service is their personal information monitoring. So I'm going to come down here to that section in Aura and I'll come to the dark web monitoring in IDShield. So basically how these services work when it comes to personal identification monitoring is you input all of your personal information. Things like your birthday, social security number, and name are automatically put in. But you can also add, in the case of Aura, phone numbers, passport numbers, driver's license numbers, national provider identifiers, financial account numbers, credit card numbers, loyalty card numbers, health insurance ID numbers, email addresses, gamer tags, and IP addresses. And similarly, over at IDShield, you can add email addresses, phone numbers, credit cards, store cards, bank accounts, medical IDs, driver's license, passports, login credentials, mother's maiden names, national provider ID numbers, investment accounts, employer ID numbers, gamer tags, and social security numbers. So a lot of information on both. And what they do is they monitor the dark web and, in a lot of cases, the public web for your personal information, cases where maybe your account information has been leaked, whether it's, login credentials, usernames and passwords, whatever it may be. And they send you alerts when they do come across that information to let you know, hey, your password's been leaked over here at this website, and you want to go change your login before someone uses that maliciously. And you can see here that Aura is showing me all of the dark web alerts that they've found. Right now they're showing 18 of them. And when you click on them, you can see, what information has been leaked, what it's associated with. In this case, it's Twitter. And you can change your account information when that arises. One thing that I find is a little bit disappointing with IDShield is that it's actually hard to view your past alerts. So once you look at an alert and you can see, in this case, this is also the same thing. It's a Twitter breach, same exposed data. Once you dismiss this alert, it's a little bit hard to go back and find it. So I can't go and see, things that I've already seen. So it's almost like if you want to be able to go back and say I'm in here and I'm going through these alerts and I go and change one password, I need to not dismiss them if I want to come back and see them. Because right now, I can't find a way to go back and see what my past alerts were. But in any case, just to sum it up, both of these found quite a few instances of my personal information on the dark web, which is good. I would say that in the case of IDShield, most of the identity theft protection services I've tried have found instances of my personal information being leaked associated with 2 email addresses, and IDShield only found one of them. While they found quite a lot of hits, they didn't find everything, which is a little bit disappointing, but they definitely found more hits than LifeLock, for example. Not the worst out there, but Aura definitely has more thorough monitoring of the dark web in my experience. Another nice thing that Aura offers is they automatically opt out from data brokers on your behalf. So this should help cut down on robocalls, junk mail, email spam, things like that. And I don't see that being offered over at IDShield. I could be wrong. But again, this whole interface is a little bit clunky, a little bit cumbersome to navigate. So I may be missing something. So keep that in mind. Aura does also monitor account records. So if anyone tries to open credit cards or utility account in your names, you'll get an alert there. So you can jump on it as quickly as possible. And same with public records. If someone tries to alter like your home title or put your name down when they get arrested, for example, you'll get an alert from Aura right away. That may well happen with IDShield as well, but I have no way of knowing that for sure based on just the way that their dashboard works. So both of them allow you to offer quite a bit of personal information, but I do think that Aura definitely scans the dark web a little bit more thoroughly than IDShield. So beyond personal information monitoring, both of these do offer credit monitoring, and that includes credit scores, credit reports. The biggest difference here is that on the baseline plan, IDShield only offers one bureau credit monitoring, and that is your TransUnion score and your TransUnion report. On the other hand, Aura offers all three bureaus, that is Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So you can get basically your credit scores, your credit reports, and monitoring, if there are any changes to your scores on all three of those bureaus, whereas you're only getting one with IDShield's baseline plan. Can't upgrade to get three bureau credit monitoring with IDShield, but you do have to pay a bit more. And that's not what we're looking at here today. Another nice benefit of Aura is that they give you this Experian credit lock. So with just a click of a button, you can lock your credit file, prevent any unwanted inquiries without having to go over to the Experian website, fill out a form, and issue a formal freeze. So that's, just a nice perk. But if we come in here just to take a look, you can see your credit score at the top. You can see, it's plotted over time. They give you some advice to improve your credit scores. And down here, you have scores from Experian and TransUnion as well. Up here, you can view your credit reports, which is very nice. And you can manage like freezes right here from the dashboard as well, namely for the Equifax and TransUnion credit bureaus, because you have that Experian credit lock. You don't need to freeze with them. Similarly, IDShield does plot your credit score over time. They do give you reasons as to why your credit scores might be dragged down. You can get credit reports here as well, though you do have to order it. You can't just pull it up like you can over here at Aura, which is definitely a nice feature. And not only are you getting it from one bureau, but you're getting it from all three with Aura. So that's great. And then in terms of transaction monitoring, both of them do offer it. Basically how this works is you can link financial accounts, credit cards or bank accounts. Basically it'll just kind of give you a ledger of the transactions going through. And you can also set up thresholds so that if there's a charge over a certain amount, you can get a notification and look into that right away, determine whether or not it's fraudulent. If it is fraudulent, take action. These are very similar in that regard, so not much to talk about there. With IDShield, they do have a couple other perks in that regard. You can set up sex offender monitoring, so you can put in your address and set a radius, and it'll tell you if there are any registered sex offenders in your area. You can also link your social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And basically it'll monitor these accounts and it'll let you know if your posts are considered offensive. It mentions right here like foul language, drug references, alcohol references, discriminatory terms, and you'll get notifications if any of that comes up, if there's any flags set off there, whether it's you making those comments or someone else making those comments under your name, if they've gotten your account, anything like that. So nice little bonus feature from IDShield. A few of the identity theft protection services do offer this and Aura does not. It's not really a core function in my opinion. IDShield also does offer some reputation management, but as you can see, I'm being redirected to yet another sort of place in the cloud. And right now it's giving me a 902 error, whatever that means. I'm not entirely sure. So I'm not going to get into that at the moment, but it is another thing that IDShield offers in terms of monitoring. As you may have seen back at the top here, in addition to the monitoring, both of these offer password managers, they offer VPNs, and they offer antivirus software. So those are, nice perks as well that not all of these services offer, but both of these do provide that. So that's definitely a plus. When it comes to threat resolution, both of these companies in their individual plan offer up to $1 million in identity theft insurance. So they're similar in that regard. The main difference, I would say, is that Aura bumps that up to $1 million in insurance per adult as you go up in their plans. So the couple plan covers 2 adults, so it's a total of $2 million. And the family plan covers 5 adults, which is a total of $5 million. So they do offer a bit more coverage with Aura than you get with IDShield. And then when it actually comes time to call support, say you've lost your wallet, or say you've had a phishing attempt, or you're unsure about a dark web hit on your account, whatever the case may be, both of these services have really great customer support, very friendly, very helpful, very thorough in their responses, quick to answer the phone. Both definitely sort of stand-up companies that I would want to be working with on a pretty bad day, where maybe I've lost my wallet and all of my credit cards, license, all that kind of stuff's in there, or worse, maybe someone's gotten a hold of my personal information and they've taken thousands of dollars out of my account, or maybe someone got access to my personal information and you ran up some credit in my name and it's trashing my credit score, something like that. Definitely feel like both of these companies offer the kind of dedicated support that I'd want to be working with in a situation like that when I'm really facing a grave situation and I could use someone, a helping hand to guide me through it. They're definitely, seem to be American based support teams and they sort of understand your problems at a fundamental level and definitely seems like they have your back. So I think while Aura offers a little bit higher protection with their upgraded plans, they're probably fairly similar in terms of threat resolution at the end of the day. And last but not least, how do these companies stack up in terms of costs? Well, you saw a little preview of this a second ago, but IDShield's individual plan starts at $14.95 per month, which is very similar to Aura's $15 per month when you're billing monthly. Of course, it's a little bit cheaper with Aura if you bill annually. It's $12 per month. But if you click Learn More, you can see that $14.95 per month is only for one bureau credit monitoring. So if you want to get 3 bureau credit monitoring, that's actually $19.95 per month. So a bit more money just for that 3 bureau credit monitoring, which you are getting included in Aura's plan from the get-go. And at the end of the day, Aura's monitoring is more thorough and the whole system's just a bit more sleek, a little easier to use, a little easier to navigate. I think it's just a bit more refined and a bit more thought out product. Whereas ID Shield kind of has you popping over to all of these different sort of, I don't know if they're databases or what have you, but definitely different modules for all the different aspects of their services here. So and important to note is that these prices are before you apply my discount using my links in the description of this video. With that link in the description for Aura, at least you can save up to 50%. I think that's on the family plan. It's a little bit less with the individual plan, but still quite a nice deal. I think this comes down to $9 per month when paid annually at the time of filming, or $12 per month when billed monthly at the time of filming. If those values change over time, I'll make sure to update those links with the best deal that I currently have access to. But to me, once you apply that discount, it's a no-brainer that you're getting sort of a better package overall with Aura, and that's definitely what I would recommend. If you want to learn a bit more about Aura, check out my Aura review. I'll leave that video right here for you as this one comes to a close. I've yet to put out a review for ID Shield on its own on this channel, but keep an eye out for that. It may be coming soon if you're interested. So thanks for watching and best of luck in choosing your identity theft protection service.